AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Representative Dixon McMakin will be here in 15 minutes from right now. Curious, Dixon last year authored legislation that would have made NIL earnings for student athletes tax exempt. It didn't even get out of committee. Well, this week it's relevant again because Mississippi's House passed that legislation. It's still got to go to Senate and be signed into law, so it's not a law yet in Mississippi, but it's trending that way. Arkansas has a similar law. There's 3 states in the SEC with Texas, Tennessee, and Florida that have no state income tax. So if you're thinking about staying competitive, that's one way to do it and keep up with the Joneses. So we'll talk to Dixon about that coming up here in about a dozen minutes from right now. There's no secret when we start to look at the New Orleans Saints and their needs going into free agency in the draft. Wide receiver is at or near the top. You traded Rashid Shaheed. You've got Chris Olave back. I think there's some optimism around Devon Vele, who second half of last year after the trade started playing better. Remember, you traded for Jalen Polk before the season last year, former first round out of Washington, who missed the entire season due to injury. But Polk will be coming off of injury and could very well be a legitimate option. But I think everyone is sort of roundly looking for a true solidified number 2 option to partner with Chris Olave, the Batman to his Robin or the Robin to his Batman, however it may go. And so we're considering all of these possibilities. Maybe Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson at the top of round 1. We told you about a mock draft yesterday from Jordan Reed at ESPN that has the Saints taking Jeremy Bernard from Alabama in round 2. So there's a lot of different ways it can go. More certainly, the Saints are going to address wide receivers, just where. And I think today is relevant because there's news that the Eagles, and this was from this report from Mike Garafolo over at the NFL Network, that the Eagles are willing to trade A.J. Brown, but they want a Quinnen Williams type deal. That was the report from Garafolo. Now, as a reminder, Quinnen Williams was traded from the Jets to the Cowboys last year for a 2026 second rounder, a 2027 first rounder, and defensive tackle Mazie Smith. So they got a starter, a 1 and a 2. Now, there were future picks, but a starter, a 1 and a 2 for Quinnen Williams. So if you're thinking, if that's what the Eagles are going to want for A.J. Brown, you have to think you're sending a starter, a 1 and a 2. Well, the way that would probably look is maybe like the 42nd pick this year, the Saints' second-round pick, next year's 1, which if you win again, maybe it'd be a late first-round pick, and then a starter. Would you do that deal? For me, the answer is unequivocally no way. And you can love the player. And I think A.J. Brown is fantastic. He has been a true dominant player in the NFL during his tenure. First with the Titans, then when the Titans traded him to the Eagles, effectively the Eagles are trying to recoup what they gave up to get Brown when they traded for him in doing a deal like this potentially. because the Eagles sent the Titans a 1 and a 3 in the trade for A.J. Brown when they got him back in 2022. So first things first, as we look at A.J. Brown, a couple things as we talk about it. A.J. Brown, at this point in his career, is 28 years old. He's 28 years old, and he'll be 29 in June, by the way. So he'll be 29 before the next season starts. And he's also a guy that, while he's had 4 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons, has seen his production decline. Just if you look at the last 4 years, he went from 1,500 yards to 1,456, so comparable, to 1,079 to 1,003. His catches went from 88 to 106 to 67 to 78. So you're talking, and by the way, he played the first 2 years in Philly, he played all 17 games. The last 2 years, he's played in 13 and 15, respectively. So fewer games, declining production. He'll be 29 in June. And remember, as we always say, when you're trading for a player, you're not just trading for the player, you're trading for the contract. And when you look at A.J. Brown's contract, you were talking about a dude who will be under contract under this deal still on the extension he signed, which was a 3-year, $96 million extension on his deal. Not a new deal, an extension that he signed when he went to Philly. With the average annual salary of $32 million, he's under contract through 2029. That is his age 32 season. So you're talking about A.J. Brown being under contract through his age 32 season, and that year, the cap hit would be $29 million. So I look at that and go, it's not just about 2026, because for 2026, would you like to have A.J. Brown on the team? Yeah. Do you want to be spending $30 million in 2029 for 32-year-old A.J. Brown? And that is not quite as obvious. And do you want to give up assets, a 1, a 2, and a starter for a player that's a very good player, but may not be this caliber player still whenever you're ready to start contending for a title again, provided Shuck in the next couple of years gets there? What makes more sense is investing in a young asset. Like, would I do that deal for Jamar Chase? In a millisecond. And I'm bringing up Chase not just because he's an LSU guy, but he's very much in his physical prime, right? You could see a scenario where Chase would get through another 4 or 5 year deal, and at that point would be where A.J. Brown is now. So I can't get there with an A.J. Brown deal because of what you'd have to give. Not because I don't like the player, because I do. But it's not just about do you like the player. It's what do you have to give up and what's the contract. And all of that blended together doesn't really make that palatable. For whatever it's worth, I think Brown would make a lot of sense for a team that is ready to contend. If there's a team that is ready to contend right now, then Brown could make a lot of sense to help a young quarterback. So it's not surprising that if you look at the top teams as far as odds for A.J. Brown's next team, New England is number 1. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? They just lost the Super Bowl. They got their young franchise quarterback. Kayshon Boutte's been outstanding, but you could certainly stand to benefit from a guy like A.J. Brown immediately. Buffalo, Baltimore, Denver. Those are the top 4. New England, Buffalo, Baltimore, Denver. The top 4 odds for A.J. Brown. Makes sense. All have franchise quarterbacks in place. All are playoff teams trying to make a push for a Super Bowl. For whatever it's worth, 2 other receivers set to be free agents. Mike Evans, his favorite also is to go to the Bills at 3-1. The Saints are at 16-1 for Mike Evans. And then Tyreek Hill, Saints are 40-1 for Tyreek Hill. He's actually a 2-1 favorite to go back to the Kansas City Chiefs, which would probably make a lot of sense for Tyreek Hill as well. You're coming off injury. But I look at receiver. Listen, and I understand that if you want to get something of value, you have to give something of value. So I'm not saying that the Eagles should just give away A.J. Brown, right? He's a great player with a lot of value. But it has to be the right situation to be able to give up something of value to get that player. You have to be a contender. The Saints right now are not a championship contender. I would rather put young assets, affordable assets around Tyler Shuck that can grow together as that window stays open for the net with Tyler Shuck, hopefully for the next 5, 7, 10 years, whatever that may look like. That wouldn't include a guy that's entering his age 29 season on a deal that runs to his age 32 season. Get younger. Get younger, more affordable. That does not include A.J. Brown. Great player, not the guy I would want. All right, it's after further review. Now, we're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Remember, Evermore, EVA-MOR. Always have Evermore with me here on the set. Drink Evermore every day. Get the 64-ounce bottles. You get whichever is best for you. They got 20-ounce bottles, 32-ounce bottles, 64-ounce bottles. EVA-MOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Available at great local retailers. So find the retailer nearest you when you go to the website, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. You can type in your area code, your zip code. It'll tell you the location nearest you that has Evermore. If at your local grocer or convenience store they don't have Evermore, ask for it by name or just buy it online at Evermore.com. EVA-MOR, Evermore.com. Go to the website. You see it right there, top right. It's a little button that says buy now. You can buy it right there online. Buy now. EVA-MOR, Evermore.com. Buy now. Hit the little button in the top right where it says buy now. Go there to Evermore.com and hit the little button in the top right where it says buy now. There it is, right there. Boom. And now you can buy it on the website. Evermore.com. All right, y'all. It's AFR. Presented by Goodwood, Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. YourGoodwood.com. HRT, peptides. You want to feel your best? Our friends over at Goodwood can help. YourGoodwood.com. All right, let me knock out a quick break. I will come back to some Saints free agent and contract talks in a bit because there's an estimate today of what Alontae Taylor is likely to fetch in the free agent market, and that all but solidifies he will not be back in New Orleans. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. All right, quick break. Come back. State Rep Dixon McMakin is going to join us. Excited for this convo. Could Louisiana attempt to walk the same path that Mississippi is currently walking, try to make NIL earnings tax exempt? Is there a reason competitively that makes sense? We'll talk about it with Dixon McMakin when we come back here at AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown, two amazing hotel properties. And, of course, if you have an event coming up in 2026, Watermark Renaissance want to host. Watermark Baton Rouge is downtown. Renaissance is beautiful as well right there, Southtown. Watermark Downtown, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. You know, one of the cool things, if you ever go, I remember last time I was there, well, it wasn't the last time I was there. One of the last times I was there. It was last basketball season when Vanderbilt was here, and the Vanderbilt basketball team stayed there, and they had their team meetings and meals and everything in the basement. So when you're in the lobby, there's this beautiful marble stairwell that goes down underground, and that's where all the bank vaults were. Well, they've hollowed out those bank vaults into like private dining and private meeting rooms, and they also have this big open space as well. Trust me, if you have an event coming up, you got to check out Watermark Baton Rouge. Downtown, Watermark Baton Rouge.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit YourGoodwood.com.
All right, Mississippi has the state of Mississippi. Let's just have sit. Your mic's not on. Just go on.
I look.
Sit.
I look good.
No, I need you to sit because you're blocking the panel.
No, I'm not.
Yes, when he goes to that shot, you will be.
No, I'm not.
When he goes to this shot, would you stop being so insubordinate? Just sit, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. I
See,
look
you're
great.
blocking the panel.
Hey, Goodwood, firm up.
It's a bad
If
idea.
I sit, it's not going to change anything.
Yeah. Sit and there.
Nope.
Swing over, and then move the mic.
Diva, Matt Moscona.
No, not a diva. Someone who understands the value of ad placement and the people that pay for that. That's right
Good
over
to
your
see
shoulder.
How you doing, folks?
There it
Good
is.
to see
You're
you.
not on. See, we're on that shot right there.
Good to see you, folks.
Nope.
How you doing?
On that shot.
It's coming. Musso, change the shot.
That's not Musso. It's Paul.
Paulie D. Come on,
Get
change
out of
the
here.
shot.
Get out of my studio.
Okay.
What
Let's
did I-
welcome back.
I just asked you to come on the show. I didn't tell you to come in studio. Next time we'll lock the studio door. We're calling him. Okay, Dixon McMakin is here with us. Representative Dixon McMakin from District
68.
Eden Great in 68.
There it is. Supper Club.
How about it?
Yeah, so good.
Last year, so Mississippi, the state of Mississippi has created a lot of headlines this week because their House of Representatives has passed legislation that would make NIL earnings tax exempt. It's been sort of controversial. You, as I learned, authored similar legislation a year ago. Does your legislation from a year ago differ at all from this?
Nope. Exactly. They took my idea. I would say they took my idea I had. The idea was this, simply put, student athletes are going to get NIL money. We want the best of the best to come to not only LSU, but all the universities out there. So let's say if you're going to get money from that, we're going to make that tax exempt just on the state standpoint. So that's all it is. Louisiana's at 3%. We would take away the 3% and we would put that towards the student athletes. Mississippi took that idea. The House has now passed that and it still has a way to go. You mentioned that, Matt. The Senate's got to pass. The governor's got to sign it. But they took my idea and they put it over in Mississippi. And if you're competing with who that is in Mississippi, you want to be the best.
So you also shared with me it was a legislative finance note. Explain that for a second, if you would. So you go to this committee and ask them to do this research? How does that work?
Yeah, so if you file a bill in the legislature, they have what's called a fiscal note. The fiscal note's going to tell everybody how much this would cost the state if this bill were to pass.
Okay.
So we did that. They did the research. They called the universities. I believe there was 417 student athletes that they found had got NIL, and that would cost the state about $500,000 in tax loss if we were to provide them with this tax break. And so the idea is this, Matt. As you know, $500,000 on a budget, that's at all the universities, not just LSU, all of them. How much really does that mean when you talked about hotels, restaurants, having the best of the best when it comes to having those at their facilities? That's nothing. We can afford that. A lot of pushback from a lot of people, but I still think it's appropriate for us. We want to be the best of the best. We want the best student athletes here. Let's get them here.
Why? So the counter argument is if you're a radio host, if you're a engineer, a police officer, a teacher, or whoever, well, your income isn't tax exempt. By the way, I would be very much in favor of just abolishing all taxes. Let's just do away with it.
I have another bill for that. Yeah,
I love that. Thank you. I'll vote for you. If you get rid of taxes, I'm here for it. But I also understand and have nice things. You have to pay for nice things. But I think there's different ways to do that. But we're not here for that conversation today. What do you say to the person who says, "Well, my income isn't tax exempt. Why should they be?"
Yeah, I would say to that is that there's a taxable impact for those student athletes that are here when it comes to the tourism industry, when it comes to hotels, when it comes to restaurants and all that. Look, in my day job, I'm a financial advisor, right? So I'm a financial advisor. I am what I am. I'm a lawyer as well. I am what I am. But when it comes to student athletes and getting 100,000 people into that stadium, buying beverages, buying food, staying at hotels, we see the tangible impact that they have, that the 3% loss that we're going to take just on what they're getting for NIL, but to get the best of the best here, to win championships, we've seen the economic impact. 2019, look at it. Talk to any hotel, talk to any restaurant. In 2019, when LSU was dominating, hey, did you do better collectively than $500,000? The answer, simply put, yes.
Admission, applications up, everything. There's no doubt. It positively affects everything when LSU football is good. But the numbers that we just went through, so I'm looking at the fiscal note is what it's called, right? So I'm looking at the fiscal note. So this was for the 24-25 school year, as Dixon said, for all Louisiana universities. There were 427 Louisiana athletes conducting deals that totaled $17 million. And as you mentioned, $510,000 would have been the tax revenue from the state tax.
Yep.
That was 24-25. I think it stands to reason we're in 25-26. We'd be talking about next year, right, for 26-27. Any idea as you project what those NIL dollars would be? It'd be much more than $17 million.
And of course, and that's the opportunity too with rev share now too. That did not include rev share.
So wait, just to be clear, the rev share money would not be exempt from state tax?
Would not be.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, would not be. So this is just name, image, and likeness, not rev share. That would still be Section 61, the IRS tax code. All that would still be taxed. So it's just the extra beyond that would be part of the process. So really, you're not probably getting too much more than that, honestly, because that's the NIL number is what it is. And,
You saw what a football team just did, dog?
but still, that was part of rev share.
Some of it,
Some
not
of
all of it.
But still, not as much as you think. Because look at this fiscal note. If you were to ask people, how much did you think was out there at NIL? If you were to ask them, Matt, it's 17 million of all the universities, I think that number is lower than people thought it would be.
I would agree with that. But again, that was also 24, 25, and we have seen escalators. Like if we looked at, I don't know what it is, but if we looked at the NIL money from the 23-24 school year, I think it'd be considerably lower than that 17 million. It's just, we've just seen this escalator in the NIL era as it's gotten more and more competitive. I don't know. I didn't know if you knew what that number would be.
So we don't until we do the bill. If we do it again and have the chance to do it. Now, I didn't even get a meeting last year. Didn't get the opportunity to present this. Of course, I'm lucky. I get to present for the flagship. I represent the flagship university, LSU, the largest university, the most money. That's where my passion is. People know that. My dad played baseball there. I'm the announcer. I went there for 8 years, 3 degrees. But look,
it's a good thing you clarified the 3 degrees. The 8 years thing would have set off some alarms.
Yeah. But the opportunity to be the best of the best. Mississippi is doing this. We all know Texas, Tennessee, Florida don't have the income tax. I looked it up. Georgia's at 5, Kentucky's at 3.5, Mississippi's at 4. We are always competing them. I've talked with the coaches. Hey, when you have a recruit, he's going to California. You know what they say? Hey, you go to California, you're going to pay more in tax. So we're already using it versus them. So the opportunity, and I think, look, and Matt, you advised me of this. Hey, don't read the message boards. You told me that. Don't read them.
I told you that when you got the PA job. I was like, don't read it.
Hey, I read them all. I read them all. I read them all. And the people that are on there, back to your point of, hey, look, I'm just a worker and I have to pay my tax. But I would say this. Do you want to win? Do you want to compete? Do you want to be the best of the best? Do you want to support the industry? Of course you do. When the other ones are using this against us, we're using it against them. Let's be the best of the best. Let's support our coaches. Let's support our student athletes, and let's do that.
If you make, in California, by the way, the top rate, and it's a sliding scale based on how much money you make, the top, you want to guess what the top rate is? Do you know?
45%.
No. It's for state income tax.
Oh, state income tax?
State.
20.
13.3 is the top.
Yeah, there you go. So we're trying to recruit a quarterback, trying to recruit a great point guard, trying to recruit a great pitcher. We're going to use that against California. Yeah. We can't be having Texas, Tennessee, Florida, and now Mississippi using that against us.
Like for example, if you make $742K and above, that's 12.3% in California. So just think if you're recruiting an elite level player, right? Think Haven Finney, for example. It was a cornerback out of California, signed with LSU. Had he gone to, I don't know what he got, but let's assume it's bigger than that number. Had he gone to USC or stayed in California, he would have been paying 12% state income tax as opposed to 3% in Louisiana. The counter argument would be, well, 3 is better than 12, just keep it at 3.
That's a Volkswagen. He can get a whole car with that money, right? Absolutely.
You can get a couple. Depending on how much you make him in, you out there making Sam Levitt and Jordan Seaton money, buy a couple of Volkswagens with that.
So man. It's just the idea, Matt. Look, I get that it's controversial. I get that. But look, I'm a business guy. People know that about me. I'm all about the business dollars and cents when it comes to this stuff. Is we're trying to recruit the best of the best. Anything we can do to be competitively advantaged to do that. And we know there is money out there. Look, football makes majority of the money for LSU athletics. Basketball makes money. We could make more. Basketball could be more profitable. Baseball, softball, women's basketball, all those sports. We're trying to be the best of the best, bring championships here. Championships bring economic development, hotels, restaurants, everything you do. Matt, everyone feels better mentally when we win in championships. That's what I'm about.
Representative Dixon McMakin is here. The legislative session starts April 9th. I had to look that up for the story.
March 9th.
March 9th.
Monday.
March 9th.
Yep.
I had to look it up for the story I wrote over at LouisianaSports.net. You can go read it. By the way, the fiscal note that Dixon's talking about, I do have linked in that story at LouisianaSports.net. So if you want to go read that fiscal, it was I didn't know that was a thing. That's interesting to see that happens. You have someone doing the work for you. That's good.
Yep.
So you don't have to go do math and do research. Just let someone else do it for you.
I do it myself, but I knew that going into it. Yes,
I would let them do it for me if I knew that was a resource.
I was at LSU for 8 years. So I do it.
Highest and best use of your time. Probably better working on your play calls and whatnot. Is it harder to do football or basketball?
Basketball.
Why?
More plays.
Faster?
Yes.
What's the biggest mess up you've had so far?
I don't want to talk about it.
I want to hear it. This is a very human thing. It is human to err.
There was
to err is human.
I don't know what game it was. Home game, LSU football. Opponent quarterback went out of bounds, and I gave a tackle to Whit Weeks. Well, there was no tackle because the quarterback just went out of bounds, and I punched the wall behind me.
I think it's okay.
No, it pissed me off.
Does but if there is a defender giving chase and ushers the quarterback out of bounds, is there not a tackle that's awarded?
Legally, yes, but from the people that watched it, they know that there was no tackle on the play.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Was he awarded a tackle on the play?
He was.
Okay, well then he was awarded a tackle on the play. There's nothing wrong with that.
It didn't feel right.
All right, I can respect that. It was good. Anything else we should know about the legislative session with respect to sports?
There will be there's a few bills coming on NIL. There's a few bills on the contracts that are going to be coming up with that as well. How we're going to get money, a major sports event as well. NCAA events are in the major sports bill. I did this on Mornings without Brian Haldane without Brian Haldane this morning. Great show to do. We're adding the college football playoff. Probably at St. Paul's doing something.
Oh, he wasn't at his show today?
That's why it's Mornings without Brian Haldane.
Well, who hosted?
Cade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's much better. But NCAA events are in that bill. College football playoff is not an NCAA event.
Right.
We'll make sure that's part of that.
Okay.
And all the great stuff we're doing at Tiger Stadium right now as well. Death Valley Live, all those events coming up. But just be tuning in. Look, get involved. You're now part of the process because of your reporting and what you're doing.
Nope.
You've written 2 articles now, so that's more than you've ever done in 20 years. So it's great.
Not true.
So that's facts. Musa, thank you. It's facts. So thank you so much, and just be involved.
Not going to be involved. Don't want to be involved. But one more thing. So just to explain, your bill last year didn't. So it goes to committee, then the floor. It didn't go to committee. Why?
The people on the committee didn't even want to hear it. They
Why?
didn't think that would be appropriate at the time.
Okay.
Because of all the backlash they were hearing from the people. So look, if you're a fan,
Do you think there's more support for it now?
because other states are doing it, I hope so. Yes. And look, if you're a fan, if you're one of those Tiger droppings listeners and you're complaining to me, if you're a fan, you say, we want the best of the best. You're always complaining. We want the best of the best. Go talk to the committee members on Ways and Means and tell them, look, you know what? Actually, yes, we see the reason to do this.
Who are
Let's
the
have at
committee
it.
members? Shout them out.
Chair is now Tony Bacala. Go reach out to Tony Bacala. Great man. Reach out to Tony Bacala.
Burt Bacharach.
Yeah.
Baklava. You say baklava? Tony
Bacala.
Bacala?
He's a great guy. Yeah.
Baklava?
Yeah.
Like the food?
No. Bacala. He's
Isn't
great.
baklava like a cookie?
It's a Greek dessert.
Yeah, it's like a
Zorba's on Essen, District 68.
Isn't
Go
it
check
like
them out.
isn't it like a cookie?
No, it's more of a pastry type of dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baklava.
Yeah.
Tony Baklava.
No, there's no V. Bacala.
No, I've seen the word, but it's baklava. It's what it's called. Even in Aladdin, when the genie's singing "Friend Like Me," it's a little more baklava. I've seen that. You can't tell me that's wrong. It's baklava.
I can't believe your show is still in the air. It's unbelievable.
Been here a long time, not going anywhere either. All right, he's Dixon McMakin. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. It's after further review. Stick around.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 hour air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Hey, look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. You see them all over town. They're awesome. They're awesome to work with. And one thing I promise you, when you call the number, I'm going to give it to you again in a second if you want to get your phone out, if you're having an issue with your AC, your heater, whatever it is. Probably not your heater right now. It's 80 degrees outside. But if you're having an issue with your AC, call River City's 1 hour air, and you're going to talk to a person, a living, breathing human who's here, who's going to help schedule for you. 752-0001, 752-0001. Even if you want to call them right now, you can do it just to know that I'm not lying to you. Like, you will literally talk to a human being. They'll send a technician out to the house nights, weekends. They'll never charge you extra to come out nights and weekends because you just can't go to sleep hot. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Don't ever let him in here again.
You opened the door.
I did. I'm just saying don't let him in again. I'm telling you don't let him in again. From now on, only by phone.
Only phone calls. Got it.
in the unfortunate event that we invite Dixon back to the show. Only phone. I mean, we wasted a solid minute just trying to get him to sit in a chair. Kane's there now, by the way. Shout out to Kane. That's Kane the third. She's a good girl.
Very good girl.
Yeah.
Great chicken.
She just hangs out, doesn't talk back, very polite to our guests.
Doesn't block the logo.
Doesn't bark, doesn't bite, doesn't block the logo. Reps the brand. Shout out Raising Cane's. Here in the Raising Cane's studio. Not Representative McMakin. That guy. I do like the idea. By the way, we're going to get a poll question check here in a second as well, because I asked you last hour, not rhetorical, would you want Will Wade back? And so I feel like I know the answer, and it's going to be 85 to 90% yes, is what I think is going to happen. We'll get to that in a second, but I'm very sensitive to the fact that a lot of people will look at a proposal like that, like what's happened in Mississippi. Arkansas has passed similar legislation, and the possibility of Louisiana doing the same, where they would allow student athletes to have their NIL earnings tax exempt. And I understand that people like you and me who have quote unquote normal jobs, right? I don't think I have a normal job, but you know what I mean. Like, we're not student athletes making lots of money in certain instances to play college football. And they say, well, why should I be taxed and they're tax exempt? Well, I'm just someone who believes in incentivizing business. And I look at sports as a business. Yes, it's a hobby and it's fun and it's passionate, but it's also undeniable the economic impact that sports has on our communities. Like, that's not a debatable thing. So I look at, like, when we have the conversations about the state subsidizing the Saints or the Pelicans or helping, renovate the dome or whatever, as investing in a business. In the same way that the state has invested in Woodside Energy, building a $17.5 billion LNG facility in Calcasieu Parish, or the Hyundai plant, or the Meta facility. Like, all those things, those are giant businesses that have come here because we've created in our state a business climate where people want to invest their capital to help grow. And then it creates jobs and economy and all that stuff, right? And then you can build better roads and have nicer schools and safer communities, in theory, all that stuff, right? Like, that's how that works. So if you look at sports as the same way, and that's an undeniable truth, that everything is better when LSU football is good. So if this is a way that allows LSU to have some sort of competitive advantage, and not just in football, this would be in all sports. Same thing for Kim Mulkey in the women's basketball program, or Jay Johnson in the baseball program, or, like, there's lots of different ways that you can crunch numbers to show a financial benefit, right? That's how I look at it. And if it were something that were an overwhelming number that could affect our state's budget, I might have some pause. We just told you the number was $500,000. It would have been in the 24-25 school year across all universities, the majority of which, of course, being LSU, but $17 million in NIL deals over 427 student athletes at a 3% tax rate. That would have been $510,000. So we're a state that has a budget of $44.6 billion that year. $44.6 billion is our budget. You're talking about $500K in NIL taxed revenue? I mean, it's a pimple on a bee's ass. It's irrelevant in the grand scheme to our budget, but it's really relevant to the quarterback who's going to have a $3 million NIL deal. And now you're talking about, what is that, 90 grand in state income tax? And you could say, hey, look, you can go play in California where they have a 13% tax rate, and that's going to cost you X. Come here where we waive your state tax, it's going to save you $90,000. Look at that gap. You're putting an extra, whatever that number is, $250,000 in your pocket. Yeah, that's relevant to that guy. It's not going to prevent Louisiana from building roads and schools and paying police or any of that stuff. But it might help you get the quarterback that helps you win a championship, and then you have an economic windfall. That's just how I look at it. So, yeah, I mean, I would be in favor of that. Of course I would. Hell, I'm in favor of abolishing the tax code, abolishing the IRS. I mean, you realize as a nation we were founded, there were no taxes. In the history of our nation, the IRS, taxes are a relatively new thing. So when people say, oh, it's American to pay taxes, no, it's not. It's actually the opposite of that. We literally founded our nation because we were pissed off at paying taxes. Anyway. So, yeah, I'd be fine. If this gets introduced, if Dixon reintroduces the bill and makes it through committee and it passes, I'd be fine with it. That is a negligible difference in our state. And if anything, maybe the greater push is to say, let's do what Florida and Texas and Tennessee and Nevada and 9 states have done and just get rid of state income tax altogether. Bring a climate that's more welcoming for people to have more disposable income and spend it. And it'll be taxed on the back end on what you buy, which is kind of the idea, right? Instead of the government just taking your money, go buy stuff. And, of course, you'll have sales tax and things like that, which I don't like that either. But I don't like taxes, as I'm sure none of you do. Anyway, more on Mornings Without Brian Haldane on Talk 107.3 if you want to get into that conversation. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us. We're brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. They always have their weekly ad at Rouse's. And remember, over at Rouse's, live and boiled crawfish every day. Get on by. 76 Rouse's locations. All of them have in-house boiling rooms. So they boil crawfish in-house every day at all of the Rouse's locations. Walk on in. They got the hot and boiled kiosk, the bags of crawfish. They're bagged, tagged, priced, grab, go. You're done. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. All right, y'all, it's after further review. All right, Muse, hit me with a little poll result, if you would. We asked in hour number 1, and this was me doing my very informal market research. Okay, this is non-scientific research. But I'm asking you the question, I'm no longer being bashful about asking this question. Because NC State has lost 5 of 6. LSU is going to finish 3-15 in the conference. I know there is no coach that LSU could realistically hire that would make people excited. That's not to say no coach could win here. I do believe there could be coaches that could win here. I'm just saying you're not going to get this trampoline effect of excitement from a new coach unless if you bring back Will Wade. That's my opinion. I think we're going to be sitting somewhere around 85% of people saying yes, they would want Will Wade to return. Muse, what does Twitter say?
90% yes.
I'm the smartest man alive. Or maybe not the smartest. I'm actually not. I don't do math at all. As we've learned on this show, I really struggle with math. Facts. Big facts.
We are proud members of the I Was Told There Would Not Be Math Club.
Yep.
That's what we are.
Yep, it's me. Now, you want to do English and reading comprehension and grammar? I'll wreck stuff in here. Now, math, no. However, I know this audience, man. And sometimes I feel like I know you better than you know you. Like, just scrolling through the text line real quick. I asked people, tell me. Daniel Tregle, yes. Clark Dennis, rehire Wade. Marvin Johnson, thumbs up. Mike Henderson, I'm for hiring Will Wade back. Not my money.
Honest, like the honesty.
Jed Bork, I'd take Will Wade back in a heartbeat. Ed, absolutely. Wade's a great coach. He needs to be back here doing it again. Brett St. Germain, bring back Will Wade. Chandler, LSU basketball is so much fun when they're good. Jeremy Stout, hell yeah, hired Will Wade back. Jeremy Poinot, yes on Will Wade. Josh Neal, yes, should have never let him go. John Watkins, hell yeah. Scott Shirley, 1,000% rehire Wade. Todd Ford, yes, bring back Will Wade. It's everybody. It's all of them. There's like 2 people that were like, no. I mean, it's the one thing they could do. Singular. The one thing. It's the one thing they could do that would get people excited for basketball. And the governor of the state wants it. And he's an influential dude. There's no other way around it. He wants it. The chairman of the board, who's appointed by the governor, wants it. The president of the university, handpicked by the governor, wants it. The newly appointed board member today is a McNeese alum, who I'm assuming would want that as well. You got some things aligning. Anyway. All right, I'm used to do Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
Buying or selling, commercial or residential. Think real estate. Think Darren James. Go to agent225.com, agent225.com, agent225.com for Darren James. Hey, listen, if you're thinking of selling your home, you might be thinking about listing your home for sale by owner. I want to remind you of this. 73% of people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. 3 out of 4. And there's a lot of different reasons. Maybe you don't know how to price it properly. Maybe you're not home for showings enough. There's a lot of different, maybe it's the paperwork. Who knows? There's a lot of different reasons. Save yourself the time and the money. Call Darren James. Remember, working with Darren James obligates you to nothing, and he guarantees you he's going to sell your home. It's his guaranteed sale program. You'll sit down with Darren, agree to a price and a deadline. If he doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. So call Darren James and get your home sold.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, we are wrapping up hour number 2 as always. Thanks to our friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Just go for that blood lab draw. Let them see if you're a candidate for HRT. Start feeling like your younger self. It'll change your life. Yourgoodwood.com. Muso, Tigers and the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, another exhibition here today for Team USA ahead of the World Baseball Classic. They faced are facing the Colorado Rockies. They're up big. Alex Bregman, second consecutive day with a home run in the lineup for Team USA. This one was a 2-run shot as opposed to yesterday's solo. 1 out of 2, couple runs scored in a walk for Bregman. He is on fire here early. Arizona Diamondbacks and the A's in spring training. Tommy White getting a pinch hit AB. Played some first base today, too, for the Athletics. Went 0 for 1, but is hitting .455 early here in spring training. Big day for Ethan Fry and the Houston Astros. They got the win, but bigger than that, Fry.
The pride of Rose Pine.
There you go, the pride of Rose Pine. And Ethan Fry hit his first home run of spring training. Sounded like this for the Astros broadcast.
Driving one deep to right field, all the way back and gone. Astros lead 4-0 on the home run by Ethan Fry.
He's hitting a nice 200 so far early. Some basketball to get to. Yeah, I thought it was more than that. Sorry. I looked at the wrong average at first. My bad, Ethan. Keep it up, though, dude.
A nice 200.
Keep swinging. Keep swinging. Trenton Watford has seen his minutes return to normal off the bench, 26 of them, 9 points, 3 assists a night ago. And Naz Reid, 23 minutes off the bench. Tough shooting night for a guy, just 1 of 8, but did grab 6 boards and in the game was +2. Not all about scoring. That's Tigers and Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. We're getting towards spring. A lot of people get married in the spring, meaning a lot of people have anniversaries in the spring. Maybe your anniversary is coming up. Gents, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com, or walk into any of the Lee Michaels locations. They do an amazing job with what they call the Lee Michaels experience. You'll understand. You'll understand when you walk in the door, it's not pushy or salesy. It's warm and welcoming. And they're glad you're there. And they create a really comfortable environment. You want to look at 1,000 pieces of jewelry, do it. They're going to find something within your budget that's going to thrill her. Be a hero. Give her a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Shreveport. lmfj.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, Sports Center's coming up, y'all. It's caught up on national headlines. When we come back, Alante Taylor, according to some new estimates, probably will be outpriced from the Saints.
After further review.
Priced out. Not outpriced. Priced out. You know where you're never priced out? Shaw Bills. You want to know why? Because they're going to sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price. How about, can I get one? I mean, I felt that was a pretty good radio guy transition right there. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. They'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. You want Bridgestone tires? Cool. Lots of people sell Bridgestone tires. So why should you go to Shaw Bills? Because they're going to sell you the best tires at the cheapest price. Bridgestone, Firestone, BF Goodrich, Michelin, Toyo, all of them. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. And they're able to do that because they combine the manufacturer's offer with their own in-house offer. And they know that when they get you there, they're going to sell you the best tires at the cheapest price. They're going to treat you so good that whenever you need anything, oil change, tire rotation, check engine light, brake squeaking, anything, you're going to go back, wiper blades replaced. You're going to go back to Shaw Bills. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling.